Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Disneyland Hotel Diary. We're here to break down the good, the bad, and everything in between to help you find that perfect home base for your trip. Today, we are taking a really close look at a super popular option, the Best Western Stovall's Inn.
So let's just jump right in, shall we? Stovall's Inn is rocking a really solid 4.1-star rating. That's a pretty strong showing right out of the gate, and it tells us that, hey, a lot of people who stay here walk away happy.
And get this, that rating isn't from just a few dozen people. We are talking about over 3,600 reviews. That is a massive, massive sample size, which means that score is something you can actually trust. It's clear this place is popular for a reason. But here's the big question, right? A good rating is one thing, but is it the right hotel for your family, for your trip? Because let's be honest, a good fit for one person isn't always a good fit for another. So, let's break it down. Okay, first things first, and arguably the most important factor for any Disneyland hotel, location, location, location. So is Stovall's Inn really a walker's paradise? And the answer is an absolute, resounding yes. This right here is the hotel's #1 selling point, no question. You're looking at a simple 10 to 15-minute walk to the main gates. Think about that. No waiting for crowded shuttles, no paying for parking at the structure. That convenience is a game changer, especially when you're dragging tired kids back at night or you just want to pop back for a quick afternoon swim. And look, the numbers really back this up. While the hotel's overall score is that solid 4.1, its specific rating for location is a sky-high 4.6. That tells you everything you need to know. For the people who stay here, the location isn't just a feature, it's the standout feature.
And it's not just about getting to the parks. The Anaheim Convention Center is practically next door if you're there for an event. You've got super easy food options like a Denny's and Mary's Pizza right there. And if you forget sunscreen or need some snacks for the room, there's a CVS and a Walgreens just a short walk away. I mean, everything you might need is right at your fingertips.
So location is a huge, undeniable win. But what about the room itself? The place you're supposed to collapse after a 12-hour day of walking and churros. Let's see if the inside experience matches that prime real estate. Okay, this is where things get a little divided. On the plus side, and this is a big one, guests consistently say the rooms are clean and the beds are comfortable. After walking 20,000 steps, that's exactly what you want to hear. But on the flip side, the most common complaints are that the decor feels pretty dated, the rooms are kind of dark, and they can feel a little on the small side. But here's the single biggest red flag we saw again and again and again in the reviews: the air conditioning. Now, this quote is pretty extreme, I know, but it highlights a really common theme. The AC units are often described as being just unbearably loud. So if you're a light sleeper, this is a pretty significant gamble. All right, next up, we need to talk about what might just be the most polarizing feature of Stovall's Inn, the free breakfast. Seriously, reading the reviews, it seems like there is no middle ground. You either love it or you really, really hate it. So in one corner, you've got reviews like this one. So many guests just rave about the breakfast, saying it's got a huge variety of hot food, it saves them a ton of money, and it's the perfect way to fuel up before hitting the parks. And then you have the complete opposite experience. Other guests found that same breakfast to be a huge letdown. They described it as bland, lukewarm, and just not good. It's truly wild how two people can stay at the same hotel, eat the same breakfast, and have such completely different opinions. So we've covered the amazing location, the so-so rooms, and the great breakfast debate. So let's kind of put it all on the table now and weigh the major perks against the quirks, side by side. When it comes down to it, it's all about trade-offs, isn't it? The perks are pretty major: that unbeatable walking location, a big free breakfast, 2 pools and 2 hot tubs, and staff that are consistently called out for being friendly and helpful. But you have to weigh that against the quirks: the dated rooms with that gamble of a noisy AC unit, some reports of thin walls, and yeah, that $20 a day parking fee. Hey, real quick, if you're finding this kind of breakdown helpful for planning your own trip, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe and like button. It honestly helps us out a ton, and it makes sure you won't miss our next Disneyland Hotel Diary. All right, let's bring it all home. We've laid out all the evidence, so what's the final verdict? And more importantly, how can you make your stay better if you do decide Stovall's is for you? So based on everything we've looked at, when you boil it all down, who is this hotel really for?
This really says it all. Stovall's Inn is going to be a fantastic choice for you if your number one non-negotiable priority is location. If you're a hardcore park goer, rope drop to fireworks, and you basically just need a clean, safe place to crash, it's perfect. It's also a great fit if you're the type to take full advantage of that big, free breakfast, and if you're a family who will actually use those two pools. And if you do decide to book here, listen up, because we've got 3 essential pro tips straight from people who stayed there. First, when you check in, request a room in one of the back buildings, away from Catella Avenue to cut down on traffic noise. Second, get to breakfast early. We're talking before 7 a.m. if you want to avoid the chaos. And third, pack earplugs. Seriously, it's a tiny thing that could be the difference between a good night's sleep and a noisy one.
So, in the end, it all comes down to this one question. Is an unbeatable prime location worth the gamble on a potentially noisy, somewhat dated room? That is the fundamental trade-off you're making at the best Western Stovall's Inn. And now, you've got what you need to make that call for yourself. Thanks for watching.